There we go. So this is gonna be a chill stream. Just gonna relax, talk some shit. We can. I forgot to put this in here. We can start off with Black Friday sales, where it was discovered that people bought 25,000 gifts with bullshit in. For I think what was it? I think $30 or something. What do you guys think of that? Tado?
Someone's echoing.
Yeah, well, I haven't read up on that too much, so I'll just pass on to the next guy.
When people buy bullshit, literal bullshit.
Oh yeah, that thing about with the Cards Against Humanity thing. Is that?
No, they bought it on Amazon.
Okay. Well, I have no words for that except that people were stupid and they did.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, someone's
yeah.
really echoing bad.
I don't know who it is. Dustin?
I thought it was funny. It all started because that one guy bought it by accident because he thought it was Cards of Humanity. Cards of Humanity expansion pack. So he actually had bullshit moved sent to his house, and I think that's what really started it. So I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, I find it really funny. Mornblade? Or did you want to add anything, Dustin?
No, I'm good.
Mornblade?
Yep. Well, sorry, I'm just trying to set up a website and I was distracted.
Yeah, I think 25,000 gift cards or gift boxes with bullshit in it were sold on Black Friday. What do you think of it? Literal bullshit.
Well, I'm thinking a lot of people wanted to sell people bullshit in a box. I mean, kudos to the company because that's a fucking good idea. I mean, they don't have to do much apart from put shit in a box and basically send it out. There's quite a few people that are deserving of that, in my view.
Well-
So hopefully, all the people that did get it were deserving of it.
Could have been worse. Could have been a dick in a box.
Yeah.
Could have been.
Liquid, what do you think of it?
I would have been a little pissed off. I mean, you ordered a bunch of cards to play a game, you get a piece of shit. But I would have laughed, definitely. I would have definitely got a laugh out of it.
Yeah, I think so as well. I mean, when you get literal bullshit in your mail, it's kind of funny. Brian?
I think it's humorous. Fortunately, I did not buy a box of bullshit because I'm not stupid. I would always want to know what I'm buying. But I think it was foolish on the part of the purchasers. But also, I think it is ultimately bad business to rip people off like that. Even if it is humorous, I don't think it would be something I'd want to do to any customers if I had one. You've got to.
It wasn't too bad. It was like 10, $20 or something.
Yeah,
well, it depends on how expensive the turd is. I mean, if it was a $20 turd, then you can't
quality,
really say they got ripped off.
Turd.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing? But yeah, okay. But I think it's a bit naughty, but funny. Yeah. I hope that if someone wants their money back, they're happy to give it.
Is there even a rank for turd? I mean, $20 turd, $10 turd, $5 turd.
It depends what's actually in the turd. I mean, if there's gold in the turd, obviously it's a little more expensive.
I mean, $5 turd. I mean, that's some bullshit deals right there. Anyway.
Yeah, Blake, do you have something on the matter?
Yeah, I fucked up my city and I have to redo everything. This game is so addicting. I'm so sorry.
Which game is that?
SimCity 2000.
Oh, okay.
Thank God you tacked on the 2K there. I was about to flip my shit.
Yeah, but what do you think of the boxes with bullshit in it sold?
Well, me?
Blake.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not really informed on the situation a little too much to give my opinion a whole lot, to be
Yeah.
honest.
Well, nobody really knows that much about it. I just know that
I mean, if I got a box of
boxes.
bullshit, I'd
Yeah.
I'd say, wow, it's more than I got for Christmas.
Yeah.
Same for me, man. Same for me.
All right. The next topic. I don't know how many of you followed this, but apparently there's gonna be a new PlayStation experience next year. Have any of you guys watched or heard of it?
Little.
I admit to doing nothing other than playing on Steam these days, which is maybe controversial. So I will step out of this topic because I don't know what to say about it.
Okay. It's basically a big conference. It was a weekend where they just showed off new games coming to PlayStation consoles, basically, and it was pretty big and successful, showing off new games and announcing new games. And yeah, basically an E3 in December. So yeah, Tado, do you have any opinions of this?
Well, I haven't kept up with PlayStation for quite some time now, so I think I'll pass as well because, yeah, I'm still trying to find some games to play on Steam, so I'll just pass on that to the next guy. Sorry.
Dustin?
One second, I'm in a Smash Brothers thing. Getting my ass kicked by a Falco. Holy shit.
I haven't played Smash since N64, so.
So they're coming out with like a new PlayStation store. That's what you were saying?
No, it's like a conference where they just showed off a whole lot of games, like E3, if you know of it.
Oh,
So
E3.
kind of like Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, Nintendo Direct. I think that's essentially a good thing because now we don't have as. I mean, the media is already kind of frustrated enough because they don't have they don't get enough content. So this is kind of what Gamergate's been asking for in a sense. And I know not to bring up that topic, but it's to separate, you know, that kind of relationship, and I think that's what everyone wants. Yeah, that's my take on it. And Nintendo's been doing a good job with it. I mean, a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, they stick to their stuff. But this was kind of a bigger thing where they had 3 days where they basically just had time for each single game, whether it was exclusive or just a multi-platform game, and showed it off.
Yeah, I think it's a very good thing for the consumers, especially since they're going to be focusing on our wants and needs rather than clickbait.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, assuming that AAA like cares about the customer wants and need in the first place, but okay, go on.
Well, I mean, more so than now, I guess.
Yeah, like only after like we beating on their door with Gamergate, then they decided, okay, it's time to be pro customer. Okay. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to grind that axe too much.
Moonblade, your thoughts?
Sony copies something again.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you
Hey,
there,
hopefully-
Moonblade?
Hopefully this time when they copy shit, it didn't end up like last time.
Sorry, I was feeding my cat.
What do you think of the PlayStation experience maybe coming again next year?
I have no idea what it is. I'm a PC gamer, so. Is that the
Yeah, but,
cloud
uh,
streaming game thing?
No, just having like an E3 in December, and except for it's all platforms, it's just PlayStation basically.
From what I understand, it's basically Sony's version of
E3.
Nintendo Direct.
Right, right. That's why That's why I don't know about it, because consoles. I have
Yeah,
handheld ones. I've not got anything against them. I just don't pay attention to the news on them. Yeah.
What was it? You kind of fell out there.
So
You
I
kind
don't know.
of falling out there.
PC Master Race, am I right?
Well, we are here today.
Yes.
I didn't hear what you guys said.
No, I'm just making a joke about PC Master Race, so don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anything else to say, Mornblade, or do you want Liquid to have a crack at it?
No, I was the Nintendo thing's quite good though, because they're just going straight for the audience, right? So if Sony's doing the same thing, that's good.
Yeah. How about you, Liquid?
Yeah, like that's the nail on the head right there. This is the start of a domino effect, like evolution of the media. Like all this old media shit is dead. Like these game journo sites, it is a double-edged sword because a lot of the sites that we're promoting actively, that are actually being ethical, are going to have to hop on that bandwagon as well of trying to be a middleman, be a better middleman than they were. But a lot of the AAA devs are starting to see like Nintendo and Sony, even though Sony is just going to copy everything. I suspect Microsoft will probably be doing the same thing next year with an announcement. I mean, there's always been a lot of controversy around E3 anyways, so it wouldn't surprise me if they are just, if this just becomes an excuse per se to ditch E3 and start doing your own thing, especially if the PlayStation Experience and Nintendo Direct does really good. I watched Nintendo Direct and that was really cool to watch. And then the PlayStation Experience, I'm not too sure about that because that's pretty much just E3 minus the name and minus a lot of people that Sony doesn't like.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's basically ignoring all the journalists and going straight to the consumer.
Yep. Yeah, and that's the way that it's going to go. It may not be a permanent thing, but it will definitely happen long enough to where the people that don't need a job will not have a job, and it's this is we're taking the lesser two evils here because the AAA devs are the ones that started this. They are the ones that have the money. They are the ones that have been bribing and persuading the journalists and negotiating and doing all these backdoor deals. And the journos are the ones that have been accepting it. And they're pretty much throwing the journos to the wolves, saying, "Oh, look, these guys are the bad guys. Look at us. We're coming directly to you exactly like you want us to." I mean, it is literally them throwing their own to the wolves, but in the grand scheme of things, they are the AAA and the developers in general are the ones that are actually making the content. The journos are just the parasites of the industry.
Yeah, I mean, Nintendo has done it with the directs. They aren't going through any journalist, just showing it directly to any fans and customers. So they don't go through anything there. Brian, your thoughts?
I think it's sorry, I'm not sure we're on the same topic. I think it's interesting how a lot of these developers and hardware makers as well are getting into the game of running their own conventions. I remember when E3 used to be a public event, and then the journalists decided it would be better if it was private so they could have the narrative.
Yeah.
I think it's
It was
amusing
also
how,
profit too.
of course, they could make more money out of back
backdoor and
things
exclusive ID or exclusive rights and shit like that.
an extraordinarily elitist thing to do in a community that never accepted it. And what I see happening more and more is that in order, they've shut out the consumer when actually broadcasting these kind of things became more and more relevant. In September, I know 2 people that went to Eurogamer in London. They're not active supporters of any hashtag movement, but they honestly said, yeah, we went, it wasn't as good as last year, there wasn't much going on. The developers weren't keen, clearly. And they thought about not going because of all the ruckus. And the viewpoint appears to be that media-run, conglomerated conventions are past their prime. There's much more value in a publisher or developer appealing directly to the consumer and bypassing the media entirely. So having a little private event just for the sake of it and broadcasting all the material to YouTube or wherever so people can see it, this appears to be the way they're going.
Yeah, I mean, just look at PAX and Games.com. They're basically open to the public and they're massive.
Well, that's the exact point. I mean, E3 used to be big because, the journos have always been the parasites in every, media is a parasite. They don't generate content. They report content. And, that they can't report what isn't happening or, whatever they can illusion. But, with E3 especially, when it was public, it was so much bigger because, all the developers were trying to have the biggest, flashiest booth, like at PAX, trying to show off their stuff. And now that it's privatized pretty much, and you have to have special passes to get in, it's more, the developers already have deals cut with all the fucking journalists and all the publications as to what's going to get reported and how. There's not really a point in investing that much money into it. So it shows.
Yeah,
I think another point is just say about it is that there's a recent report on how on November people were projecting at least 80% loss on games, 18% loss on sale. It is turned out to be 12. So whatever it's worth, I think people are experience some kind of loss. Some kind of loss because of the whole Gamergate thing and also how ineffective the holiday markets have been. So I'm guessing this is a chance for them to do something about it. But I also would like to note that they are doing this because they want to save their own skin, not because they want us as a consumer or everything. I think people should at least somehow remember that and put it into perspective rather than clinging onto hope that, the AAA is finally giving a shit at us. No, they don't.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, they're businesses. Every single one of these people are businesses, especially AAA. AAA, it's straight up business because it's so big. It doesn't have individual personalities. It's, corporate decisions. So, of course, their bottom line is all they give a shit about, and their consumer base is what buys their bottom line. As long as they don't give a shit as long as it sells. It's less so with the indie and the smaller companies, which is where we're kind of seeing there. We're starting to see fallout of a lot of indie devs now that have picked sides and stuff like that. Like all the freaking pro devs are starting to get a lot more sales. All the anti-devs are just pissing and crying and making excuses saying that it's the other side that's caused them not to make sales.
Some of the stuff the anti-GG dev have been going on is pure stupidity. The David Gallons guy is a mess. You guys all saw that went down.
Yeah, him jerking off the GG.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you broadcast that shit on Twitter? I mean, I I have one or two breakdowns on Twitter, and it taught me not to blow anything up on there, just vent elsewhere. But fucking hell.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the next topic. No GG topic, remember?
Well, Blake was the last guy who was about to chime in on the topic. Blake,
Oh, I'm sorry.
what do you think of the?
Don't expect me to talk a whole lot because this game, my God.
Hey, I'm
Okay.
currently playing the Binding of Isaac. Damn it! So you should be able to reply too. You know.
All right. Well, my thoughts is this about the whole PlayStation thing?
Yeah.
My thoughts is that it's good. That's good. That's what we need because it is cutting, like somebody said, it is cutting out the journalists, and that God damn it. Yeah, and that's cutting them out. And they've been a bad influence on the industry because they've been trying to censor, like Dragon's Crown. The artist got a lot of flack for making big tit lady, or
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Jason Schreier apparently liking people with big tits and big ass is a pedophile because of reason, obviously.
I saw that too. I'm just like, oh my God, you are so stupid.
Kind of remind me when one of the devs actually talk about how waifu is racist but remember that how waifu is
Oh,
racist
that was
but
funny.
yeah, how waifu is completely racist, but he forgot like waifu actually originated from a gag manga. I'm like fucking hell, do these people actually read on the history of the shit they talk about? Because it seems that a lot of ignorant people is flying out there and they just pretend
It's
to
all
be
that listen and
progressive.
believe.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Anyways,
Okay, moving
I'm just gonna chime my 2 cents on it. I kind of love it if they're gonna do this. It looked like they had a lot of fun and they didn't have to be so formal. I saw the whole thing, so I think it's gonna be excellent. And I hope they repeat it for next year. Tadashi, are you there? Is your mic working?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to chime in on this topic, you can, unless we're gonna move on.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea to me. The only problem I could see with it would be them doing things like with the Watch Dogs, how they did it at E3, and they had completely, high res videos for all their stuff, but when you actually get the game, it's lower res.
Yeah, I don't think it was that high formal presentation, and Sony isn't exactly EA or Ubisoft, so
Well, so Sony did like some sort of that shit like years ago with
yeah,
with
Killzone, but that wasn't them. That was Guerrilla hyping the game.
no, but I remember like the footage was showing E3 back then, and it was like the pre-render footage, but they keep hyping up anyway until like months later they admit that it was pre-render, and yeah, that sort of shit is obviously unacceptable, but it's bound to happen. It's gonna happen. It's bound to happen. So
Yeah, I
people should
mean,
like keep, yeah.
Microsoft showed off their Xbox One games on PC, so
Yeah, so there's that too.
yeah. Anyways, next topic. I don't know if there's any big Final Fantasy fans here, but apparently the new re-release of Final Fantasy Type Zero is gonna be rated R. What do you think, Tado?
Is it a movie?
No, it's a game.
I'll be honest. I'm not a very big Final Fantasy fan. I mean, I tried to get into Final Fantasy VII and to no avail. So I'll just pass on this topic as well. But for what it's worth, if Square Enix can get Final Fantasy back to form, that is actually about RPG, not fapping about with how big the tits of the main character is, then there could be hope. But otherwise, I'm not placing too much hope on the game, especially even if it's like rated R, because yeah, Square Enix might try something edgy and such. But if the game is shit, the game will be shit. That's simply how it goes.
Tadashi, how about you?
Yeah, it all depends on how good the game is, really. It doesn't matter if it's R-rated or PG rated,
It's
really.
kind of the first one that's rated R. That's why I kind of put it in there.
You know,
Kind of surprised, though.
I am also surprised that they want to rate a Final Fantasy game R, but no offense to people who like Final Fantasy, I like Final Fantasy 7, I kind of liked 8, kind of liked 10 a bit, but the last few Final Fantasies have been very juvenile in their story, very childish, so perhaps that's a good idea to try and take it into somewhere which better represents who's going to be buying the game rather than focused on 16-year-old or 14-year-old prepubescent emo characters, which I think aren't all that interesting to have in my party. We have very boring stories as a consequence. So if it was a more mature incarnation of the story, I think that's a good place to go.
I just hope that they don't take it too far, they get it like too edgy, like trying to be edgy just for the sake of like rated R. That's also a slippery slope.
Yeah. We just have to wait to see. How about you, Dustin?
I think it'll be nice. I've never been a big Final Fantasy fan, but I know a lot of people that haven't been really happy with like 13 and the 13 installments.
Oh my god, they were horrible.
Yeah, I mean, like
I like.
It's like
I personally. Yeah, go ahead, Dustin. Sorry.
Well, what's the difference between rated R and rated MA? That's what I want to know. I mean, is it the same thing?
Googling now. I will have your answer.
Apparently, it's like inclusion of sex scenes or something, because I remember back when GTA San Andreas, the whole hot coffee thing was going down. San Andreas was already rated M, but after like people discovered the hot coffee mod, like it turned into strike 18. So the difference is, I think it's basically just like explicit sex scenes.
Yeah, that might be it. Do you have anything else, Dustin, or are we gonna move to
No,
Moonblade?
that's it.
Yeah, let's move on to the next topic.
Okay, Moonblade. Well, how about you?
Well, the Final Fantasy thing, really, they just went downhill after 10. I used to love them, but after 10 they kind of got shit, so I lost interest.
You don't care?
They're just crap games now, aren't they? They're just. I mean, you used to be able to get airships and go anywhere you wanted in the world once it opened up a bit. Now it takes you 50 odd hours to get to the open bit, and the game's basically over, so it's pointless. I have played a couple of the ones that I think are shit, but that's why I think they're shit. But no, I'm not really interested much in them anymore, apart from the FF10, not 10.2, like 12, 13, 15 verses or whatever the hell they're calling it now. It's changed names so many times.
Yeah, 15. It was called 13 versus.
Yeah, I was looking at that years ago, and it's so like been in development for so long. But I was interested in that one. But now I'm just like, meh, I doubt it's going to be any good.
Alright. Liquid, how about you?
Okay, first, the answer to that question, TV MA, or MA is related to TV ratings, and the R rating is related to movies and games. So it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah, it's just different genres.
Yeah, sorry, I mixed them up. What do you think of the rating?
It depends on why it's rated R for me. Like, there's so many reasons it could be rated R. Does anybody actually know why it's rated R?
No, because it's the first time it's been released to the West, so I don't really know that much of it.
Okay, so yeah, that's. I mean, I kind of got a reserve opinion on it until I see, what it is about it that makes it R-rated. I mean, hopefully it's not, mindless pandering like, Mass Effect sex scenes, shit like that. And it's more, it's more tasteful content per se. Like, like I don't personally mind edgy stuff as long as it's tasteful to the storyline, or it progresses the storyline in a meaningful way. So if there's something in the storyline that progresses it and it's like blood or gore or lewd content, but it progresses the storyline in a decent and well done manner, I'm completely fine with the rating. But it definitely on the outside it definitely shows that they're at least stepping outside their box of comfort.
Yeah.
How about you, Brian? You kind of chimed in a little bit earlier.
Yeah, my problem is I think the gameplay mechanics of Final Fantasy. Well, how can I say it? They keep adding complexity in. Like Final Fantasy 13, they said they added complexity, but then they made it such a mess. In order to appeal to a broad audience, it's pretty much an automatic battle system. And I played it all the way through until I got to the planet below, and then I was like, why am I bothering with this?
Yeah.
And if Final Fantasy can invent a method that is less grind focused, that's fine. But at the moment, it still is very much under-evolved MMO for one player with a storyline. I'm not saying the stories are interesting or not, because they're all at different levels. But I think they need to think about how they can make the gameplay better, how they can have more consequential and meaningful plots which evolve into different endings for different players that are all equally useful. That would be good. Does having an R rating help? Maybe. I don't know.
All right, last one, Blake.
Well, it is good to see that they are stepping out of their out of the box. The last time I remember a big studio doing that was Nintendo with Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, and it was the first Zelda game to be rated T, and it did have a very dark style to it, but I found that made it a lot better, if you ask me. So I hope where they go with it is actually good.
Okay. Yeah, I personally don't know about it, but hopefully they do it right. All right, next topic. What are your thoughts on all the remastered games with Borderlands, Devil May Cry now being announced, and yeah, we have had Tomb Raider, Last of Us, GTA, Metro. Yeah, pretty much.
Wait, Devil May Cry is getting a re-release?
Yeah.
Which one?
The last one.
Oh,
with the Devil May Cry 4 as packaged in. So, Tado, what do you think of it?
Devil May Cry getting a re-release.
No, just all the remasters.
I don't like remaster that much because it seems like just like another cash grab. I mean, like for example, like some of it is worth it. I mean, like for example, GTA 5 is like coming out with like a first-person shooters mode and everything. I think that is a very sustained addition to the well, not sustained. What is the word I'm looking for? Very noticeable addition to the game. which I think is worth a remaster. But for some other games, I don't know. For example, Sleeping Dogs. Like, what's the point of remastering that for the next gen anyway? When the main characters still look like shit and the game is still very limited for open world game. That's my grab on it. It seems like a cash grab.
Yeah, Sleeping Dogs kind of felt like a cash grab. Tadashi?
Yeah, I'd have to agree. Pretty much a cash grab. Unless they were beefing up the graphics or doing something good with them.
Alright. Dustin?
It depends on the game, really, how far long ago it was. Like, I would love to see like a remastered fucking God, what was that called? The one with the giants shit. Tale of the Colossi or whatever. God,
Yeah, Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah, that one. I would love to see that fucking remastered to like the current gen graphics. That would be amazing. But like, and then same with General Zero Hour. I would love to see that remade, just with a better engine. But things like Grand Theft Auto 5 and the last Devil May Cry that came out, I mean, there hasn't even been enough time for there to be like a significant graphics change. You know? I think those type of games are like fucking obnoxious. I mean, if you release it under another method, like, hey, look, you don't have your old system anymore, here's the old one, like they do with like what Nintendo does, they just give you the option to have it. I mean, that's a great marketing strategy. But besides that, I mean, those last two games, fuck that shit.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
agree.
even legitimate to talk about a remastering of Sleeping Dogs? Isn't it only like 2 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, okay, maybe I'm a PC gamer and somewhat spoiled, but games just like have resolutions and you can change them. Perhaps on consoles it's relevant, but how can they charge a full price for that game?
What wasn't Watch Dogs put on next gen consoles too, and not just 360 and PS3?
Yeah, it got re-released. For no reason, really.
Wow. Controversial viewpoint. I mean, this is also a PC
Yeah,
gamer.
we can get to you later. We're worried. Dustin, did you have anything to add, or?
No, I'm good.
Yeah. Moonblade?
No, good.
Liquid?
Yeah, like I've got to completely agree with the graphics deal. Like for me, like I'm fine with the re-release of a game as long as the story is well enough that it deserves a re-release. Like Final Fantasy VII, that re-release, I really want to get that. The HD re-release of that, even though the graphics aren't even that much better. But like Devil May Cry, the storyline on that wasn't that great. Sleeping Dogs, I haven't actually played that, so I couldn't tell you either way. But pretty much, if it's got enough, if the storyline's compelling enough to keep me hooked, if it's compelling enough to keep me hooked, like fucking like Advent Children with the I think it was Advent Children was the name, the PSP one, the Final Fantasy PSP with Zack.
I think.
I forget what that was called.
Crisis Core?
Yeah, Crisis Core. The gameplay on that pretty much sucked, but the storyline kept me hooked enough that, I was able to look past it. So that's pretty much where I stand on it. If the storyline's good enough to stand on its own, then, I think it deserves a re-release if the graphics warrant it. But in this case, like Sleeping Dogs, it doesn't at all.
Yeah. Brian, now you can chime in.
Yeah, I find it quite alarming how many of these relatively new games are going into re-release mode. I wasn't aware of Sleeping Dogs, but maybe this is because I'm on the PC version, and so it's scalable anyway. One I found a bit of an eyebrow raiser was Metro Last Light and 2033 went in for Redux versions.
Yeah.
And the originals are both fairly new. Now, the fact I could get them on Steam for about $5 And okay, I'm not going to grudge a graphics upgrade for $5. Is it really worth $5? No, and I would never recommend for anyone else to buy it. The same for Sleeping Dogs or Watch Dogs. These are new games. These were developed with the latest technology. Not that much has changed. It's legitimate to come around and say, okay, we're doing a HD version of Final Fantasy VII, which they've done. So great, okay, so now it works on all the modern hardware, it's not buggy, it's just the same game fixed. Or, Baldur's Gate 2 was another one they did, fine. But I would not recommend anyone to buy a re-release of a game that's only 2 years old for better graphics. That's crazy.
Yeah. How about you, Blake?
I think it's stupid. Just re-releases, but the re-releases of games like Metro 2033, that in my opinion is a good re-release because they did up the graphics and the lighting phenomenally with the current engine. But Last Light is, I wouldn't shake two fists at that re-release because I mean, why even bother? The graphics are the same. The gameplay is going to be the same. There's pretty much no big changes ever. So stuff like that's stupid. But if it's a game that's old, then I say go for it.
Yeah, if I'm gonna give my 2 cents, the only time I really condone it is when it's an exclusive and to a new generation, like Last of Us. Many didn't buy a PS3, and perhaps they wanted to play it, and now they got a chance to play it because they didn't have it. Or if it's an older game, for example, on PS3 they upped the graphics for God of War 1. For the PS3, that's I feel that's okay. If people want to really buy it and play it again, why not? I would really love a new release of Battlefront 2, but I know that's not gonna happen with a new one coming out next year. But that's just me. Any final thoughts, or are we gonna move on?
That's all I have to say about that.
Well, I'm just gonna defend Metro Redux a bit because I bought the new one and I think it is like one of those games that's tiptoeing the line between like deliberate cash grab like Sleeping Dog and something of a worldwide re-release like GTA 5 because at least from what I understand, the game actually fixed the graphic from the first one and the second one, and also like adds some new gameplay element to both of the side, while also having them both packaged as the same deal without it and having reduced price. So, yeah, I'm just defending Redux now because I love the game and I think it is fair. But anyway, let's move on to the next one.
Okay, Sonic Exec has said that the next PlayStation may be either physical or in the cloud. Todo, thoughts?
I don't think at this point going on cloud is a bit of a pipe dream because not many of us have access to like great internet for cloud streaming and everything. I'm living in Australia and the internet here is relatively shit comparing to like the US or the Europe, for example. I think it's just a cool thing to say that, oh, we are going cloud computing and shit, but it is actually feasible or not? Like, I remember, like, Xbox One was hyping the hell out of it, like, hyping.
Yeah, that was just a gimmick, pretty much.
Yeah.
They use it for the phones and for the computers as well.
Yeah, they said they want to add cloud computing and help the games and everything, but is at this point I think it's very much empty word. Probably we can have like cloud gaming and everything in like the next 5 or 10 years when everyone's internet is up to speed. But at this point, no, I don't think so.
All right, Tadashi.
Yeah, but I'd have to say about the same with the last card. But if they did have it, give the option to, if you want it on the cloud or if you don't. It's the only problem I would have with it.
Yeah, do you think it's gonna happen?
It's more likely going to happen, but probably, I think the pushback from it will probably keep it back for a couple more years.
Probably going to crash and burn. I mean, I remember a service called OnLive, and that was streaming PC games directly to your TV or laptop. If you like, I used to play Amnesia on it all the time because my laptop was a piece of shit and couldn't run the game regularly. So it's interesting what they did with cloud storage, and that's, cloud shit, and that's the first time I've ever gotten a taste of it. But like Tedo said, it's really not going to be, it's not going to work for everybody, and I think relying on it's going to be really stupid.
All right, Dustin.
Well, just FYI, it's funny because everyone's claiming like they're all going to go to cloud computing, but because of that iPhone Apple hack or whatever, which got all the nudes of all the women, a lot of the celebrities are now switching to regular flip phones, and they've discarded their smartphones. So I think because of that event, I don't see cloud computing actually becoming a mainstream thing because people are so afraid and very uneducated about how actual, cloud computing works, and they're afraid that it's essentially saying, oh, it's in space, all they have to do is find my password and I'm doomed, because most of these people that I would assume support this because of the accessibility are now finding it more threatening, especially with this North Korean thing too, if you guys aren't aware of that. Yeah. So I don't see it ever becoming a thing, unfortunately.
All right, Moonblade.
No, I've not really got much to say. I do think it's funny though that they update games all the time, when there's sometimes probably no point. But I think it's because the new console gen's out and they just like fucking rehashing. But they've not got much work to do actually if their assets are done properly in the first place. All they need to do is rethingy the whole game package back up and make sure it runs on a new console. I think that's what the problem is. I don't really think the PC needs it, unless it's a really, really old game like...
Yeah, it's pretty much for consoles, or he said it for the PlayStation.
Yeah, it's pretty much how they work, isn't it? It's just because the new consoles are out, so the best and easiest way for us to make money is re-release the games that were on the older consoles and update the graphics a wee bit. And then they just infect the PC with the bullshit as well, because that's what happens. So, yeah, I'm jaded and I'm old, by the way, so that's where that comes across.
All right, Liquid.
Yeah, I've got a lot to say on this one. It like one of y'all said earlier, like with the Sony hack per se, that's probably the best place to start on this. With the cloud computing, it's going to happen eventually. It's going to eventually happen because there's too much profit in it for it not to happen. When you look into the actual cost it costs to develop a console, to market a console, to manufacture a console, to ship a console, to get that into everybody's hands individually, companies save millions of dollars just housing the equipment on their own server, just housing the equipment themselves. So they're going to continue to push it. That's why you're seeing the Microsoft Cloud. That's why you're seeing Google Cloud, Apple Cloud. Sony, starting to do the cloud thing. Everybody's pushing for the cloud thing because it's a brilliant business plan. You save so much money, and you put all the maintenance. It gives the business 100% control. Is exactly what it does. It gives them 100% control. You kill people calling in because of bad equipment and stuff like that, stuff that requires shipping or ground services on all spectrums. It's going to continue to get pushed until it happens. But the double edge of that is, with the Sony hack specifically, because everything's cloud service with them, including their own services, North Korea, which, by the way, FBI has confirmed that the hack originated in North Korea. Not saying it's North Korea affiliated, but the software and everything that was used to commit the hack was the same software that's been used by North Korea previously. And that's the double-edged sword. Like with fappening, all your stuff is out of your control, out of the consumer's control, which doubles back to the point that all these developers, all these companies, all these big companies, they honestly give two shits about their consumer. All they care about is the pocketbook. And it's going to happen. It's going to get forced. It's going to be forced down everybody's throat, whether they want it or not. Whether it becomes, whether the security gets there in the future to prevent people from hacking and getting, celebrities' porn photos, or like, the company password for Sony, or movies for Sony, or their financials for Sony. It's going to happen because there's too big of a profit to be had by these companies putting everything in their own warehouse. And just telling people, look, if you want our service, this is the minimum bandwidth you're going to need. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of how long and how much pushback. But if a business wants to do it, they're going to do it. If they alienate, as we saw with game journos, if they alienate a portion of their consumer base, if they think it's a good idea, they're going to do it regardless. It's just with game journos, we've pretty much shown them you fucked up and made a bad idea. So it's going to happen. Whether it lasts, it really depends on if the technology can catch up with all the loopholes and all the security risks that are associated with it.
All right. Brian?
Yeah, it's inevitable that. And obviously there's money to be saved, which in some ways is good for the consumer and good for the hardware provider. The problem is it needs to overcome 3 or 4 hurdles before it happens. They keep talking about it. It's like they plaster these quasi-intellectual business magazines with this kind of stuff about the cloud and the Internet of Things and all this shit, Great, okay. But, if you really want to run a respectable, high-performance gaming service remotely, you're going to need internet speeds, latencies, and reliabilities that are currently out with even their current infrastructure in many places. Now, what can I say? The reason you don't want to play Counter-Strike or similar from a remote location is you're doubling your ping, simply. However, given time, hopefully they can come up with some way to address that. The other problem is how they actually advance such a system. I think people are pretty happy to sit with ownership on their own accounts already. Things like Steam were actually the start of it. But if you can imagine if you had a way that Steam would sell you the hardware component remotely and you got it all streamed in, and it was separate from your gaming blah blah blah, that would be a hugely profitable business for them. And you might find all you're doing is renting the stuff as you use it on a pay-for-use basis. and a lot of people would probably play games that wouldn't otherwise. So it is business-wise, it's sensible. For some consumers, it's good. Other consumers or power users will have more strict requirements on the system being robust before they'd be willing to adopt it, in my viewpoint. And it's really about them getting enough power users who want to get in there to actually build a core user base before the general public see it as a viable system to put their money behind. So I don't think it's going to happen for another 20 to 30 years. That's my prediction. And I bet I'm way off, but, you know.
I'm with you. I'm definitely with you on that one. That there's so much stuff that has to be in place before they can actually do it properly. At the moment, there's too much lag time to your inputs to the game. People are going to get annoyed with that. Also, I think the only viable place that could actually probably get that working in the world right now is probably South Korea, because they've got the fastest internet in the world, probably. They've got massive gigs of like data going down their lines. It's some mad connection they've got over there, so they could probably do it. But the UK, no, it's too slow. I mean, I can't even get a hold of fibre yet. And my upload's like 512 or something. It's ridiculous. So there's no hope in hell of me being able to play the latest games on high definition like I can at the moment on my proper PC. No, it would suck. Really suck. You'd have to turn the resolutions right down. And then you've got the input lag. I don't think it'll work. At least not for a good long time until we get proper internet. Like, I don't know, gigs coming down the line every second or something.
Yeah, I mean, you imagine how much maintenance and computing power is required to remotely broadcast to your screen like 1950 by 1000 at 60 FPS at least. That's what they've got to do. And by the time you get there, people want 4000 by 2000, which is an order of magnitude more bandwidth.
4K, so, I mean, we're already, the PC market's already hitting 4K now, isn't it? That's what they're pushing for. Yep. The monitors are all going to 4K, and, well, Nvidia love it because they're like, buy 3 graphics cards to pull it off. So, nah, I can't see it happening. The outpacing of the internet, unless they invest a hell of a lot of money into the fibre or whatever's next.
Well, let's be honest here. With the 4K, that's a little out of reality, considering the fact that if a consumer can afford a 4K appliance like a TV or a monitor, they're more than likely going to be able to afford the hardware to push a 4K, display, because 4K is not cheap. If you're sporting a 4K compatible device, then you've got at least a little money lined in that pocket.
Yeah, but we're the glorious PC master race. That's how we live.
Yeah, but like the cloud computing, like especially with like OnLive, that was a perfect example of too early for its time, but a good idea. Like it will, it's going to be the service will be targeted to the people that can't afford a console, or that are looking. It's going to be advertised as pretty much a GameFly is what it will be. Is just stream your games, and that wouldn't surprise me if GameFly would be the service that would start doing that.
What I think is gonna happen, I think at least with the next console generation, is that we're gonna get a physical console, but it's not gonna come with any hard drive, and it's gonna store all our saves and that kind of stuff in the cloud, and we're gonna get everything through the cloud when it comes to that. I don't think in the near future we're gonna get cloud gaming, because look at the shit Xbox One got when that one got announced. People were livid when they heard that it had DRM and shit like that. So I don't think we're gonna go full cloud anytime soon. Perhaps without hard drive or just caching our saves and uploading them to the cloud. But I don't think consoles are gonna go. Perhaps some sort of DRM next cycle, but I doubt it's gonna be full cloud, at least for 1, 2, maybe 3 generations, because there are so many places that don't have internet. I could even say Norway has one of the better internet connections in the world, but it doesn't go everywhere. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Do you want to move on, or still talk about this?
Next. No.
Okay, next. GTA Online Heist are gonna come now with the next DLC for both last gen and current gen and PC. Thoughts, Tado?
GTA 5. I'm still waiting for GTA 5 to go on PC, man.
Yeah, it's gonna come in January.
Yeah, this is will come to January, but until then, I have no hopes on it. I'm looking forward to play the first person mode on it, but outside of that, I really have no reaction to the heist thing.
All right, next one. What do you think, Tadashi?
I haven't really seen much about it, but if it's anything like what they had in the actual game, it's that multiplayer to be sounds alright. If that's what it is.
I would really like to see how it's gonna work online. I think it's gonna be great, hopefully. Dustin?
I don't do any GTA, so I have no idea.
Alright. Next one, Moonblade.
Well, I'm waiting for it to come out. Well, I don't know. I've played it on a mate's PS3. It was a good game. I liked it.
Did you play the heist?
No, I don't know what the multiplayer thing's like. If it's the heists on the single player bit where you got to set up things.
Yeah, that's
if it's that on multiplayer, man, that sounds bloody good. But I don't know if I'll buy it on the PC. It depends how much it is, or if I fancy it at one point, if it's on sale or something. They're too late. I would have got it if it came out at the same time as the consoles, but they're too late. I've already played through it. So I'm not really interested in online these things, because usually they just hack that in. You kind of just throw that in on top. So I don't know much about the multiplayer. But it sounds okay if you can set up the heist like you did in single player and have your buddies do each.
Yeah, that's
like
what people are expecting.
Right, that sounds good. It sounds good, because that was a good bit on the single player. I quite enjoyed setting that stuff up. So, aye, that sounds good. Hopefully they pull it off and it doesn't all not work like it first did on the consoles. I heard a lot about that. That it wasn't working that great. But hopefully they fix it then. Good luck to them too, because they make loads of monies and they do a good job of just. I like Grand Theft Auto. I like the wee funny radio bits, man. You can sit and listen to the radio on that game, the talk radio, and just listen to the nonsense that they're all coming out with. It's quite good. I like their humour. So, aye, Rockstar North's awesome. I think that's all I need to say on that.
Alright, Liquid?
I haven't gotten to play GTA 5 at all. I'm one of those ones that's waiting for the PC Master Race. But I do got a bitch that this was something that was supposed to be, this is something that they had planned for a while before launch.
Yeah.
There's no reason it shouldn't have been in the launch in the first place, and there's no reason it should have taken them 2 years to get it implemented.
Well, it's only been 1 year, to be honest.
Well, yeah, 1 year. I mean, this is, I can't fault them too much because they did add it, or they are adding it. But, this is one of those things of, well, do we hold it or do we release it now and just cut content? And, they took the easy way out on it. They took the money route instead of making sure it was a truly, complete thing. Like, I despise DLC and add-on content. I miss the old days where, like, the Super Nintendo cartridge, that was what you got, and they only had one shot to get it right.
Yeah. Or expansion packs. That was one. Yeah, Brian?
Once again, glorious PC Master Race. I will buy it when it comes out on PC. Unfortunately, because I work abroad a lot, I do not have a PS4 or a console. I just have one huge gaming laptop, which goes with me everywhere. So therefore, I'm a bit puzzled about why they're releasing Payday 2 within GTA, but I'm just joking. I'm sure it'll be fine. Great, I guess. That's nice. But I can't comment otherwise. Aren't we a terribly boring audience on this topic?
No.
We should have just all said who's going to put up their hands and say they've not got the game.
Blake, how about you?
I'm still waiting for it on PC.
Okay. Well, I bought it for for the PS3, and I played it with my brother a lot, and I kind of quit because it kind of got mundane waiting for the heist to be released, and I'm not gonna buy it for the PS4 for a while because I don't want to pay full price for something they should have released a long time ago. That's just my 2 cents. Next topic. There are no rumors now that Sony are going to give up the rights for Spider-Man, and that Spider-Man will join Iron Man and the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe in the next Avengers or the Civil War plot. Are you guys excited for that?
Yeah, I love the Avengers movie. I love Spider-Man.
Yeah, to you could start.
I doubt it's gonna happen because Spider-Man, even though the last movie was kind of shit, it is still very profitable. Like, I don't see any reason why Sony decided to give up one of their cash cow unless they have some really, really good reason to do so, like Disney buy them out or something. Otherwise, I don't think it will be the case.
Alright, Tadashi?
Oh, maybe they didn't sell it. They're probably just renting the IP.
I mean, it's Sony that's kind of borrowing the license, so they would kind of borrow it back to Marvel for this.
Yeah, yeah, but if it's happened, that's going to be a good thing.
All right, Dustin.
I am so happy Sony got rid of it because I hated all the Spider-Man movies. Tobey Maguire ruined Spider-Man for me. He was terrible. All 3 of those movies just burn in hell. And whoever thought of those movies, I mean, when you have like someone like Eric Foreman playing as a villain, that was disgusting. I was just like, you have to be kidding me. The new ones that are coming out, they're not as bad as the other ones, but they're still mediocre. They're mediocre superhero movies. I'm waiting for Avengers to come out and bring Spider-Man back to life because the atrocities he's had to deal with these last 2 fucking series is just sad. Although I will give credit to the newer generation that, it's more it's more towards Spider-Man. But Sony has this problem where they have to sneak a love story and just fucking make the entire story wrap around that. I know they kind of went with the original comic on there, but I mean, look how they do Iron Man and the Avengers. I mean, the romance part is just like, it's a very subtle thing. It's not a main story trope, and I'm happy that they're finally going to bring Spider-Man in as a superhero and not some fucking hormone raging teenager that doesn't know what the fuck he wants to be. I'm tired of seeing that story.
Yeah. How about you, Mormblade?
Sony. I don't even know what happened there. Like with the Spider-Man thing. All I know is there was 3 movies, and then there was 2 other ones because something happened, and something about rights or something. I don't know what happened. But Spider-Man movies were okay, I suppose, in a way. Some of them were good action and stuff, but like, nah. I don't know nothing about the comics or anything. So it's just like, well, they're just another superhero type movie to me. Apart from, I did like the newer one because it was more to the comics, where he actually made the spider shooty things. Because that's like one of the things to show you that the character actually is intelligent slightly, and he can build these wee sciencey things, which they totally missed out on the other first 3 Spider-Man movies, I think.
Yeah.
Which irked me a wee bit. I was like, but he just seemed like a bit of a prat in the first 3. At least in the newer versions, it did show you that he did have some intellect. So, no, but that's all I've got to say about that, I think. Aye.
Yeah, it's Liquid.
I got a little to say about this. I'm a big Spider-Man fan. I grew up on that, and I have complaints about both sets of movies, because Spider-Man is a really deep and complex story when you get down to it. I mean, Peter's a very complex character, and the first 3, Tobey Maguire was not the right guy to be Peter Parker at all, and I completely agree with the criticism that they didn't play up his intelligence at all in the first 3 movies.
Yeah.
He just evolved the web slinging bullshit. He was just a shitty little photographer with a girlfriend, is all he was. And whereas in the first 3 movies, I can't say any of the villains I disliked in the first 3 movies. I thought all the three villains in the first 3 movies were fairly well scripted, and they were pretty true to their actual character. And in the new movies, it's completely the opposite. Like I don't know the guy's name who played Spider-Man, but he did a much better job as Spider-Man than Tobey Maguire did, in my opinion. The Spider-Man was all about the witty one-liners, and he was a very intelligent person, and he always thought through all his problems. And it was almost to the point with Spider-Man that it wasn't even his powers that made him, a really cool badass dude. It was his ability to solve shit and find a solution. He was, Spider-Man, Peter Parker was intelligent enough in the comics and stuff that, he didn't have to rely on his powers to win a lot of his battles. And that kind of played out really good in the second set. As for Sony getting rid of the IP, I almost guarantee you there was a fat sum of money involved. And,
It's not certain. It's just a rumor, really.
Yeah, but I almost guarantee you, that's what big things like that don't happen without a big change of money on the business side. I can almost tell you somewhere along the lines there's some money tied to this decision, and Sony's making money out of it. So
Probably
you know,
more than the movies.
yeah, yeah. That's the that's the big thing. Like I think the second set of movies actually sold better than the first set.
Well, the first one sold much better than all of them, but that's because it was the first one. The second one sold better than the other two, or the last two of the last trilogy. Something like that. But you're right. That's a good point. The villains in the first ones were much better than the second one. Much fucking better.
All right, Brian.
Not much to say. I think I'm kind of tired of seeing remakes of Spider-Man movies, though.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think this is going to be a remake of a Spider-Man movie. I think they just wanted him in the Avengers finale.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
Because he's one of the big. Same with X-Men. I'm surprised they didn't get rights for X-Men either.
Well, they have Quicksilver and Scarlet
Because
Witch.
the Thanatos is so fucking strong, you're going to be trying to get all the Marvel heroes involved.
Yeah, but they have Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Yeah, that too.
So they have those two. Blake, do you have anything else to say, Brian?
Well, I hope the next Spider-Man movie has Venom in it.
Yeah, well, they were gonna do a Sinister Six.
We'll be very nostalgic of how disappointed I was with the Venom in the last set of movies.
God, that was so depressing.
Well, the problem, I think, was that they squeezed in 3 villains in one fucking movie.
Well,
Take
this
on.
is where it becomes ridiculous.
Yeah.
At which point does the Avengers movies... Yeah, okay, it stands in its right, it's its own movie, but what character development takes place in a movie with 6 heroes in it? And then we start to add even more heroes into it, because are these heroes really used up well with no water remaining? I don't know. It just I can't envision it being... I'm sure it's going to have some great movie special effects, or computer animated effects, and lots of great fight scenes, but I can't imagine it being the most entertaining story. Call me a cynic.
Right, any last thoughts on this? Alright, next one. What do you think of the new Star Wars trailer, Tado?
Oh man, the
Oh, is there
new
a
Star
new one?
Wars trailer.
Can
I think
someone
he's
make it
mentioned
real
about the teaser one. The teaser one was released a few weeks.
You search
Oh,
it
that
up,
was that's what.
yeah, just mute yourself and watch it real quick. It's really fast. Or
Is it the one where he pulls
Well,
out
I
the
need someone to make
lightsaber
it.
and it has like
Yeah.
3 different sabers?
Yeah.
Oh, that one with
Yeah.
the black Jedi that all the antis were freaking out about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
that
that one.
that trailer is fucking funny because the amount of vitriol people throwing around because of that. Oh man, from the lightsabers.
I love the gifs of the lightsabers. Oh my god, those are so good. Just
Yeah.
like they're all like fucking like Swiss Army knives. The guy pulls out a cat meows and just turns into a bunch of lightsabers.
I don't know. I don't know. Is the reaction surrounding the whole Star Wars thing? I think is a bit misguided because let's face it, Star Wars is a very long and venerable franchise, and they are finally decided to do something new about it after like I don't know, like nearly 20 years of doing fuck all to the series except for some shitty games. The Force Unleashed, Cook. Yeah, I think putting something new to it isn't that bad, but people are gonna be nostalgic and people are gonna say, "Oh, they're messing up with the canon. They are messing up with the series." Hey, the whole point of making the reboot, the new sequel to it, is to mess up the series, so that something new might be come out of it, fuckers.
I don't know,
Yeah,
I'm
so
not a big
yeah.
Star Wars fan, so I really don't care either way.
Tadashi, how about you?
Yeah, I think it looked fine, except for that that lightsaber, that was the only thing that sort of made me feel a bit iffy about it.
All right, Dustin.
Yeah, I mean, when I first saw it, I really didn't have an initial reaction because, as I said, I'm not a real big Star Wars fan. But I saw all these people that were really pissed off about the sword, and I'm just like, okay, that's pretty much all I had on it. I mean, I'm probably not going to see it in theaters. I'll probably wait until it's out on, either pirated version. I mean, that I would get illegally somehow. I mean, legally somehow, anyway. Or, wait until it's on DVD or on even TV. I don't see myself investing into it.
All right, Warmblade.
I take it it's a new Star Warsy thing. Yeah, again, I didn't pay attention to it because I'm so disappointed in the last three. Star Wars died way back in the 1980s, I think, when the first three finished their round. I mean, it's got all shiny and stuff, but it's not really Star Wars much anymore. I've not paid attention to that at all. I have seen the gifs going about with all these Christmas trees coming out, lightsaber and stuff, and I was just thinking, what the fuck have they done? And then paid no attention. Also, the stormtrooper, the black stormtrooper that never had his helmet on, that doesn't even make sense because the stormtroopers were clones of Boba Fett.
They stopped cloning.
Yeah.
They stopped cloning when Palpatine finally, after Palpatine took control and declared it an empire, they stopped cloning then. There was actually...
he didn't just stop cloning, he attacked the planets.
Yeah, Kamino.
Killed everyone, except for the clones, and he pretty much inscribed the last of them, and that was it.
Yeah. So I must have missed that bit. Oh well.
Well, it's not in the actual
it's part of the lore. It's not shown in any movies.
Oh right. So I don't read the books or anything. So.
Yeah, it's in one of the TV series. I know.
Right. Well, as I say, I stopped paying much attention to Star Wars after the last three movies. I did watch the three movies, but meh. I love Star Wars, man. I love that. But I hate when they do that shit. They're doing it with Star Trek right now as well. It fucking pisses me off. Aye, that's all I've got to say on it. I'll wait and see if it's any good, and then I'll watch it if it is. If it's not, it's just don't care anymore really.
Wait and see.
Yeah, wait and see. That's what I'll be doing. And catch it on a DVD or Blu-ray or like whatever.
Alright.
Definitely not going to the cinema to see it anyway.
Liquid.
I have a lot of criticisms about this. Like Disney hasn't let me down yet, movie-wise. Like I really do like all the Avengers movies, and they really do show a very good talent to telling a good story with a very good means of moving the story forward. But with Star Wars is not a story like Avengers at all. They're really, when you get down to the nitty-gritty of it, it's not like a bright, cheerful movie with Robert Downey Jr. and Captain America and Thor. You don't have a lot of clashing personalities on it, and it really is a darker story on the back end of it. So I feel like Disney is stepping into a unknown territory with this, and my big criticism, don't get me wrong, I don't have any problem with a black stormtrooper. It's not the issue of the black, it's the issue of the placement. They thought it worries me that they thought it was so necessary to have to debut a black stormtrooper in the trailer, like this was a prevalent thing to the actual story. It's just it's just some black stormtrooper. If you keep up with the lore, you know, like we just discussed a few minutes ago, you know the stormtroopers aren't clones, and they started conscripting once the Empire was taken into place. Then they started conscripting all their stormtroopers, and the clones actually died out in the end. Except for you know, Boba keeps his line going through you know, through his son, and you know, it's not surprising for anybody that's an actual lore hog of Star Wars. And it worries me that they thought it was such an important thing that it had to be in the trailer. Like that's the important part. At the very end was ending the trailer showing a black stormtrooper when it could have been the same express. You know, it was the black stormtrooper to put the nail on the head that it wasn't just a stormtrooper. It was a black stormtrooper that was lost out in the desert looking for, you know, the droids or whatever it was that he was looking for. And you know, I understand the emphasis of it because Disney is a very diverse company. That's something they take massive pride in. If you've ever been to Disney World or been on a Disney cruise or anything like that, you know, everybody's always got their little badges on that says what you know, what nationality they're from and stuff. And I worry that they're going to take a lighthearted approach on this storyline and make it make it not Star Wars, completely turn it into something else, and just turn their back on what Star Wars was built on and what Star Wars was about. But you know, Disney hasn't let me down yet, but I'm worried about that. And it, like I said, it's not because he's black, it's because they thought it was so important that he be black that they had to show it. You know, if I had gotten into theaters and it was like, oh, a black stormtrooper, cool, that's cool. But it's the fact that, you know, it was so important that they put him in there and they show it in the first trailer. Oh, look, you know, look at this black guy. Look at this black guy we have in this movie. Look at us. We've got a black guy.
I think the uproar with the lightsaber is kind of stupid because it's kind of a remnant of the old Republic, yeah, I don't see the whole reason to get upset with that. It's just a teaser. I mean, I don't really care if the end movie is good. I'm all for it. I'm pretty excited for Star Wars, personally. Hopefully, they won't screw this up. I mean, a lot of people hate the prequels. I think the third one was pretty decent, if I say so myself. So yeah.
Yeah, the third one was pretty good.
Next, what do we have here? Yeah. A new Supergirl TV series is gonna be developed within the same universe of Arrow and Flash. Tado?
New series. I'm ambivalent to Arrows as a series, and I haven't watched The Flash yet, so I don't know. So I don't know what to say. But given what I have seen so far, the show could probably be decent. I guess it won't be like Breaking Bad material, but it probably not so shit.
Alright, Tadashi?
Yeah, as long as they do it well, it should be alright.
Have you seen Flash or Arrow?
Yeah, I've seen. I'm pretty much up to date on Flash and Arrow at the moment. So yeah, if it's done in the same sort of style as those, also the Arrow, the Flash is a little bit too light-hearted, I think. Something a bit dark would be nice.
Yeah, I think that's the point, really, to really show the difference between the two. Dustin?
Finally, the females get recognition that they deserve. I don't watch those shows. I'm not even a big DC fan, to be honest. But you know, Supergirl. I wish her success.
All right. Moonblade.
Well, I watched a couple of the Arrows. The first couple, and then it just went meh. And I've watched the Flash up to date. It's okay. I mean, it's not too bad. Could be better. We'll just see, cause it's always good to have something to watch if it's any decent. So we'll see. It might be good. It might not be. Hopefully, it's not all too cuddly, and hopefully she goes about and bashes some heads and stuff. That'll be good. Because like Superman and Supergirl's like, they're like proper massive superhero things that do anything they want, right? Because they're super. So hopefully they go and smash stuff up. I don't know though. They might mess it up somehow. Don't know. But I always like Superman, so yeah. Hopefully they don't mess it up, and it isn't too cheesy, and there's some dark bits in there or something. It'd be fun to see a woman jump about and flying about and smashing guys' heads apart and stuff. So
Yeah, that would be fun.
yeah, exactly. So that's my thoughts on it.
Liquid.
I don't watch 3D. I only watch 2D.
This guy gets it.
What? I didn't get that.
He is saying he watch anime and cartoon more than he actually watch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Brian.
Not really. Well, I know we passed the Star Wars thing before I said anything.
Oh, okay. You can chime in on both things.
Yeah,
Sorry
okay.
about that.
On the Supergirl thing, frankly, I couldn't. Is this a Supergirl thing?
Yeah.
Couldn't give a fuck, really. On the Star Wars thing, I dislike watching the trailer, not because of the way they want to make grandstanded stupidity, but I just feel it's denigrating to what is now revered as a somewhat almost important sci-fi series, for it still to be treated so immaturely that it needs all of this bluster by its basically the creators almost. I feel that the community is much more advanced and clinical about how the source material should be used than the people who should actually care about it because they're being paid to be. I think a lot of the anger at things like, lightsabers with hilts on them is not about the fact they're in there, it's about the fact this is supposed to be interesting to people. I don't think the serious fans care, and I don't think people who are not serious fans of the franchise would even know it's a problem. So all they're doing is playing fan service to nerds in the most unpolite, undiplomatic way, who are kind of notionally want to be cool because they're into it, because it's trendy, without actually showing that they're going to treat the material with respect, which is the problem.
Alright.
So that's a slightly different take on it, perhaps.
Blake, what do you think of this Supergirl stuff?
Never heard of it.
Alright, we're gonna move on then.
Yeah, we really don't like these super people topics. You noticed?
Yeah, well, if they do the same thing that which they did for Arrow and Flash, I'm really excited for it. So Last Guardian is making progress for the PS4. What do you guys think? Tado?
Sorry, I just blanked out for a second. Could you repeat that again? Sorry.
Last Guardian is making progress for the PS4.
After like three years or something, am I right? 3 years and yeah, finally an update.
Well,
Not gonna bank on that release anytime soon, really.
they
Probably
said
another 5 years.
they said last year that it was going to be ported to PS4 instead.
Oh, it's gonna be another 5 years or so. I'm not gonna bank on that.
All right. Tarashi?
I don't know anything about this one. I'll skip.
All right. Dustin? You said you loved Shadow of Colossus.
Yeah, it's in progress. With Blade and Soul, they've been saying that for 5 years. I'm kind of skeptical on the whole thing to begin with. So,
Alright.
I mean, yeah.
You think it's gonna come to the PS4?
Probably. It should. I mean, there are other products obviously were on it, so, it definitely looks like a great game, but, they said it was going to be on the PS3, so, it's good it's going to be on the PS4, I guess. I don't own one, so I'm pretty much going to be shut out on this because I don't actually own any consoles besides the Wii U. But, just for everyone to know, it's going to be another Shadow of the Colossus game pretty much that looks fucking epic, so yeah, keep that in mind.
Alright, Wormblade?
No idea what it is. Is it a game? I take it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here, for everyone that doesn't know what it is, this is what it is. And it was announced for like PS3 in like 2010, I think, wasn't it?
2008.
2008. Again, Blade and Soul fucking syndrome right here.
So this is the latest abandonware.
Alright, then Wormblade.
Who, me? No, I don't know what it is.
Oh, okay.
Suppose it's a game that's coming out that's supposed to have been coming out years ago. By the looks, by the sounds, happens all the time. It reminds me of that FF10 Versus or whatever the hell it was called, 13 Versus.
Final Fantasy 13 Versus.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's good, but the trailers and stuff looked good. But yeah, if it's one of them, and it's not a franchise that I know about, so hopefully it comes out and everyone likes it. Because it's crap when something comes out, you've been waiting ages on it, and it's not what you think it is.
Yeah, Alien Colonial Marines and Duke Nukem.
Yeah, I was going to say
Duke Nukem was funny. Yeah, and Gloria Marines, that was just a clusterfuck. It happens when these games disappear for so long and then come back, and then some other person's taken it over, and it goes through a couple of different studios, and there's assets from this one and assets from the next one, and you're trying to put it all together, and it's just it just doesn't work, does it? It would be better just going, nope, it's not coming out, guys, we fucked it up. Or just giving it to a new studio and making sure that the studio actually does all its work on it instead of having these bits of assets from all these different studios and stuff. It's better just to scrap it and start from the start, I think, if they're going to be doing that.
Yeah, I think that's what they did for this one, actually. I think they scrapped it and started all over again for the PS4. Next one, Liquid.
I got no opinion on this. I have no idea about the game.
Brian?
Unaware of it. My general belief is that when games enter this kind of delayed development cycle, there has been something quite wrong with the whole project team working on it. They've been unable to deliver the product in an acceptable timescale even to themselves, and as a consequence, they will never deliver a satisfactory game. It's vaporware. I expect it to come around in 2020. By that time, no one will care about it, and it will get very average reviews at best.
All right. Blake,
This is about the
Last Guardian.
yeah. I think what they're gonna do, if it does ever come out, is they're probably gonna kill the bird at the end. They will.
Probably.
I will bet my first son on that they will kill the bird.
All right. I hope it's gonna be released perhaps in 2015, early as 2016 at the latest. Hopefully it's gonna be released. So next topic, recent games you've played or bought. Tado?
I've been downloading a bunch of games. I got recently got Quake Live. I got The Witcher 2. I got Space Hulk Ascension, Broforce, Monaco, and Dark Souls 2. I was about to install Valkyria Chronicle, but then my SSD decided that there isn't enough space for that, so I'm just trying to clear out game as much as I can to give some space so that I can add it. But yeah, been playing quite a few games lately. If just for me to not worry about GT too much.
Okay. Any games you played?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. At the moment, I would say I'm playing The Witcher 2. It is quite good as an RPG so far, and it have a good combat system. But I'm very early into the game, so I don't know what to expect. It seems quite a lot more mature and mature than Dragon Age, though. So yeah.
All right.
And
Tadashi?
What I'm playing recently is GTA 5. I think the last one I brought was South Park: The Stick of Truth. And that's probably would be my game of the year.
All right. How about you, Dustin?
Pokemon Omega Ruby Sapphire and Sniper Elite 3. I got that for $20 on Steam.
Okay. Anything you've played? Dustin?
Huh?
Anything you've played, or is that pretty much what you've played and bought?
Yeah, both those. Yeah, that's really what I played. And some Monopoly.
All right. How about you, Moonblade?
I've bought a few. The new Assassin's Creed, played that a wee bit. Meh. The new Dragon Age. But I've not really been playing them. I've been mostly looking up what's happening in Gamergate and being busy doing other things since I bought them, really. There were a couple of games that I got on Steam sale. Insurgency and 7 Days to Die. Again, haven't really booted any of them up. I did play a game that was awesome that I've been playing, putting loads of time into. I think Supreme Commander. That's not Supreme Commander, but it's the same one. Total Annihilation, the new one, the one that got kickstarted. That was on sale on Steam.
Oh yeah.
I grabbed that at £6, I think it was. And that game is bloody awesome. It's way back. It's like playing the original ones. It really is good. So I've been having a good couple of sessions of that, which is I think that's the most time I've spent on the game, which is probably about 5 or 6 hours in that one game. So that's about the most of out of all the games I've bought. That's the one that I've played the most at the moment. It's quite good. It's back to the old strategy. Total Annihilation. It is like Total Annihilation except updated. It's got exactly the same stuff. And it's better than Supreme Commander 2. Supreme Commander was good. I think it could be better than that as well, because it's a really good game. So there's that. That's about it. That's about all I've played, apart from shitposting on Twitter about Gamergate, which a lot of my time's been taken up with as well, because hypocrisy annoys me, so I need to call it out when I see it. Apart from that, that's about it. I did play through Shadow Mordor, the Lord of the Rings one. That was quite good. But the latest games that I've bought recently, no, that's it. That's about all. So,
Alright.
yep.
Liquid?
What's our topic?
Recent games you've bought and played.
Implying I buy games. Let's see, recent games. The most recent game that I've played has actually been like a little indie game that the owner of Mindless Zombies, Jason Golden, pointed me towards. It's like a reboot of Mega Man, only it's actually really it's a lot better. It's just short. It's like Ares Extraction Point. It's on Steam. I got it for like $3. AAA titles though.
Hey, they say the jewel is as big as the man.
I can't say there's any AAA titles I've played recently. I've just been waiting for GTA 5.
All right. Brian?
Why?
Recent games. Let's see. Well, the most recent game I've had, which was a gift, is the so-branded Game of the Year, Dragon Age Inquisition, which is really a grind simulator with some story quests in it. I don't think it's all that inspiring nor all that much Game of the Year. I would say it's a competent title with some issues of too much filler. Other games I've recently been playing includes... Let me just scroll down a bit.
I got one issue with Inquisition, and that's that it got Game of the freaking Year after only being out for like less than a month.
Well, it's obviously not Game of the Year if you actually play it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I myself wasn't
It is
going
a
to buy it until it came on.
It is a
the offer.
decent game. It is a decent game. Not Game of the Year, no. I mean, this is not exactly a good year for gaming. I mean, like, GameSpot gave out the Game of the Year award to Shadow of Mordor. I'm sure everyone here likes Shadow of Mordor, but to say it as Game of the Year, I think that's a bit of an overachievement for the game. And yeah, there seems to be a lack of like truly groundbreaking games in this year. Or maybe that's just because the drama of Gamergate just whipped everyone into shape so that, yeah.
Some other games, I think highly underrated, was Endless Legend, which is a kind of on a planet fantasy incarnation of Endless Space, which came out a few years ago. I enjoyed it. A lot of people were a bit meh. Is it for strategy fans? Absolutely, you'll get a lot more out of it. What else? So I got here as recent purchases in my deck. I'm just looking down. And a game that I just mentioned, Sid Meier's Civ Beyond Earth. Would I recommend it to people? If you're not a Civ player, I wouldn't buy it unless you get it on offer, because it's not as in-depth as Alpha Centauri. I would almost say it's a reskin of Civ 5 with some good ideas thrown in, but it isn't. It almost isn't a full game. To be controversial, I am not sure anyone else has played that. I also bought Stick of Truth. I really liked it.
I've heard the same thing of Civ 5, of the new Beyond Earth, so I don't think you're the only one with that opinion.
Yeah, you know, I'm a big Civ player. I've played 512 hours of Civ 5 on Steam. That's when I'm not offline. I really like Civ. Beyond Earth, yeah, okay, I played 2 or 3 days worth, and I enjoyed it, but, you know, it's touch and go. Maybe they'll expand it and make it better. Another game which I do want to bring up, and I'll talk about it later again, is Wasteland 2, which I got on an offer, and it was worth every single bloody penny, actually. I would highly recommend to anyone who likes Fallout style or Baldur's Gate style RPGs even to purchase Wasteland 2. It's cool, kind of turn-based, post-apocalyptic gameplay, and it's by an indie dev who's done a pretty good job. The only other game I bought recently, which we did touch earlier, was Sleeping Dogs. I got that in an offer, the definitive edition on Steam, during the last sale, not the current sale, and I'm enjoying playing that through. Well, it's a bit of work. I would recommend it to other people who like games like that. Wait till you get it in the deal, and it's well worth the money. But I wouldn't recommend buying a reboot of it with fancier textures because it's only a few years old, as discussed.
Alright. How about you, Blake?
Well, I got Rage, and I got Valkyria Chronicles. I played about 5 minutes of that. I'm like, huh, this is pretty nice. And then I went back to Final Fantasy XIV for the third month in a row. So, yeah, I'm gonna have a huge backlog.
Alright, 1 sec, I can check through my list. I think I kind of covered it on the last stream. 1 second, I have the list here. Just go. God damn it. Here, download list. I bought The Last of Us remastered because I didn't get it on my PS3. I got it for 50% off. Got Dragon Age, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Grand Theft Auto 4, and I got Mirror's Edge and Plants of Zombies during the PlayStation Experience for free. If you guys didn't get that, that's kind of too bad for you. What else? Let me check. I got Transistor and Wolf Among Us for the PS4. That's about it. This for the recent purchases. I played pretty much only Dragon Age lately. I finished it just a few hours before I started this stream. So yeah. Biggest disappointment of this year, game, movie, or TV? Or just in general? Tedo.
Humanity. I mean, GG have like been. I don't want to sound dramatic, but GG is making me really, really down on humanity as a whole. Like I'm sure we all have our idols and we all have our people to look up on. But after GG, like a lot of us, like I think it's time to reevaluate on how idolatry and worshipping will do us in the future. I mean, how many of you guys here are fans or used to be fans of Tim Schafer?
I haven't
I
really
think
been
it's
to
just
the-
you, mate.
Yeah, I
Team-
heard a lot. I heard quite a few people like really disappointed with how Team Schaefer went, and how he swindled his fan and everything. That's one cautionary tales on. One cautionary tale on how idolatry won't do us any good, but that's just me being very pessimistic and cynical as usual. I'll just let the other one go on.
What is it he done again? I recognise the name, but I'm trying to put a game to the name and I can't figure it out.
Well, what he have done so far is that he is very anti-GG, but he also a very shit businessman who screw his very very big fan base. Like, have you heard about Space Base 9?
Yes.
Aye,
Yeah, so basically,
yeah.
yeah.
I know, but I'm trying to think what old games. Why is he renowned? I know the name from years back, but I'm just trying to think what game it was that he had made the big splash with. Yeah, like I know what he's done recently.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think. He was one of the old elite type ones, wasn't he? Like Peter Mullen.
He was very renowned for his work on adventure game like Full Throttle and
Oh yeah,
Monkey
the
Island.
Dango guy.
Yeah, it is him. It is him. But it seems like, after this, it seems like he got the George Lucas syndrome, where he is a genius, but unless somebody rein his genius in, he will just go everywhere and spill spaghetti everywhere.
Yeah. Aye, that's nah. It's meh. It's just like, well, okay, you want to mess with your reputation, that's fine. But that's the one that people were saying. Bobby Kotick was right. That thing that was going about on Twitter, wasn't it? Tim Schafer. Bobby Kotick was right about him. About spending all this money and like not having anything to prove that he needed that money, or he just like shits money. Basically, he just shits it away, and then he wonders why he's ran out, and the project doesn't get done. It's that guy, isn't it?
Yeah, it is him. It is him. It's funny how things that said in the past, is coming to become very relevant again. It's like I always think that Gamergate is almost like a series of ghosts in the past coming back to haunt the present, and yeah, so many things in the past are currently unearthed and currently being digged by people, and just astonishing how much dirt these people have been able to get away with it for years until now, because of a girl, because of a guy. And if you told me that Gamergate was gonna rewrite the DNA that 4chan, oh man, I would have just laughed out of the room and never considered it again.
Alright, Tadashi, biggest disappointment?
The new Ninja Turtles.
Oh, damn. That's a good one.
And the Transform one, that was pretty bad as well.
Well, that's expected. Transformers hasn't had a really good run lately.
How about you, Dustin?
I would say my biggest disappointment of this year was that new Generals game they came out with. Almost made me die inside. If you guys didn't know, Command & Conquer came out with the Generals, new Generals in the series, and it's the next game in the series since 2003, so almost 10 years.
Yeah,
and they did an open beta for it, and an alpha, closed alpha, and I got into it and I started playing it, Not even like I even live streamed it because I was so excited for it, and it was the biggest disappointment. General Zero Hour is the best game I ever played, and they came out with this garbage, and it was a free to play model, so you actually had to buy the generals. Even within the alpha, you had to buy the content. It was absolutely retarded, and I played for it with a week trying to give it a chance. It just felt like a really shittier version of StarCraft, and I uninstalled it, and I never took the videos down. Not even a week after I uninstalled it, and I actually live streamed me uninstalling because I'm like, this is garbage. Do not even buy this. The game got pulled, like completely trashed. Didn't even get out of the alpha stage, and everyone lost their money. There was like so many people complaining about that because they actually invested into it, and then the game was so terrible that they couldn't actually do an actual release for it. I waited 10 years for that sequel, and that's what I got. I got a fat guy that with dynamite that ran like a fucking cartoon character from Acme. That's what I got.
Alright. Moonblade, biggest disappointment?
Well, meh. I'm pretty meh. I try not to hype stuff up until it gets released, so I don't get disappointed because
Yeah, it doesn't have to be just games. It can be movies, TV.
I just
anything.
expect the worst from everything, man. It's the best way to be, and then you never get disappointed.
Alright.
I just don't care enough really to get disappointed in anything, because I'm old and I've seen what happened to Star Wars and Star Trek and other game franchises like Command and Conquer, and I'm used to it. I'm used to the huge disappointment, so I just wait and I just wait. I don't hype stuff up. I just wait to see what happens and how it comes out. So no, I'm not really disappointed that much in anything anymore because I'm so jaded that I don't expect it to be any good in the first place.
Alright.
Yeah.
Liquid,
What are we talking about?
biggest disappointment?
Oh God, that's a pretty big list. Mass Effect. Let's see, Batman.
No, of this year.
Oh, this year. Okay.
It's gonna be a pretty long list for
Let's see.
everyone.
I can sum it up. UBI Soft, for the most part, they are a massive disappointment in my eyes. They are the new EA, and they have a massive step to redeem themselves next year.
Yeah, that's a good
let's
one.
see. Yeah, UBI is the biggest disappointment.
Ass Creed was pretty bad.
Yeah, the entire necessity to have Gamergate is another big disappointment. Like Gamergate should never have happened. You know, we should have never had to get this pissed off to get something as simple as tell the fucking truth, and don't sit there and try to hide shit from people like we're dumb. Let's see. Honestly, that's really probably about it. I mean, you know.
How about TV, movies, anything?
Well, we've already gone over this. I don't watch 3D. Let's see. I haven't really been on the movie scene that much this year. A lot of the movies that I have watched have been pretty well, just flops. Nothing worth me actually going out and spending money on. Give me a second. Let me look through my completely legitimate movie archive that I have.
Nothing that's really disappointing.
Yeah, no. I can't help it. Like the Japanese and the Chinese and all just Western culture or Eastern culture, whatever you want to call it, depending on which side of the globe you're turning. They at least understand how a good story works. All this fucking pandering of movies to love and trying to subvert the actual storyline for fan service and bullshit like that, it's just retarded. Like, completely retarded, the amount of fan servicing that goes on in these movies nowadays.
No. I got you. Brian, how about you?
Biggest disappointment? I wouldn't say Gamergate's disappointment. Why would I not say that? Because they failed to stop it. Whether they like it or not. There appears to have been progress as a consequence. What else? Well, I also knew it was going to happen for a while. I think a lot of people did. Disappointment game-wise?
Or movie-wise, for that matter, or TV?
Movie-wise, I don't tend to get disappointed with my movies. Their expectations are very low. But game-wise? It's difficult. I'm struggling to think about the most disappointing thing. I think the biggest disappointment has been what I would say is failure to deliver from indie developers, particularly from Kickstarter projects.
Yeah. Broken Age.
Where they have managed to deliver, they've then tended to thumb their nose at the consumer.
Oh. Yeah, that's true. Broken Age is a perfect example.
Yes, and this is where I get very much shunned by many people because I say, well, bad game developers deserve to be punished, not rewarded. Good ones deserve to be rewarded.
Yeah, that's true. Anything else, or can we move on to Blake?
What did I do?
Yeah, Blake, go on. Biggest disappointment?
My love life.
Oh,
wait. Is it this year?
Yeah!
Oh yeah, my love life.
Okay.
Oh, there, here we go. I'll talk about this a moment. Like, you guys know that motor of Gamergate.mi is hooking up for a Christmas stream later on, where people can get together and play multiplayer games, or on stream and everything. You guys know about that?
Ooh, no, I didn't.
Yeah, it is. Hold on, let me post the link to the current Google document. You can somebody could probably show it live or something. Currently, we are like having like a few people on board, like including Sintovine, including Gwen, Lily Knight, and some other people to join in the fun. And currently, we are having a lot of games to decide. We are running Quake Live and Gary Smart with Orange Ball for the prop hunts and some other games. So yeah, it's gonna be a fun Christmas for people like me who don't have any real life at all. Cough, unconvincing cough. But yeah, just joining the fun. I'm just joining the fun, and the more the merrier, I guess.
Right, I'm gonna tell my biggest disappointment. It's gonna be Drive Club for me personally. I thought that game was gonna be good, but it was so damn ass broken that I got so disappointed. And with Assassin's Creed Unity, it's so bad. What's which particular game or movie or TV show are you looking forward to in next year? Tado?
Next year, probably The Witcher 3, and no, seriously, I don't know. I'm not very keeping up with the games for next year because I've been giving up on some of the stuff. Some of the news and stuff. The site I usually keep on because of Gamergate.
But if there's any new games at all and everything, I'll probably have a look at it. Metal Gear Solid 5 is something I'm actually looking forward to. Because I don't want to play any demo, you know.
Did you play the Metal Gear that came out or was on sale recently?
No, not yet. Ground Zero.
Yeah,
Ground Zero.
Yeah, I got my friend that during the Steam sale. He loved it. Like he said, it was awesome. Even though it's like a prequel and everything, it was pretty good. So I recommend it.
All right, Tadashi. Are you there?
Yeah, that new one, The Order, that looks alright coming out. I'm sure there'll be plenty of others. I haven't really checked out what's coming out.
The Order, okay. Dustin, how about you?
I got 3 main things that I'm looking forward to right now. The last one's probably wouldn't fit the criteria, but it might. I mean, it kind of fits in. First off, The Witcher. Definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Dragon Ball Xenoverse. That looks like a really fun game. I do like the co-op function of it. Lastly, I'm going to be trying to buy a really high-quality Iron Man suit by the end of next year. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I'm really excited on that. He's gonna come into work one day wearing it.
Chilling intensified.
Warmblade, how about you?
What was that?
Anything you look forward to in 2015?
Oh, The Witcher 3. Yay. Definitely, that game's going to be awesome, because they know how to make proper games. So, yep, there's that, because I liked The Witcher 2, and the first one as well, even though it had issues with the combat. But the second one was good, and I'm really looking forward to the third one. Nice dark fantasy, epic RPG game. Yeah, like the bloody should be making them. Like what Dragon Age should be.
Can you stop talking dirty? Stop it.
I love the guy. I love CD Projekt Man. They're awesome.
Yeah.
Aye, so there's that. That's about it. That's the only game I'm really looking forward to.
Liquid?
Yeah. There's not really too much I'm looking for. Yeah, there is. Yeah, since my recent acquisition of the Nintendo Wii U, which I can't officially open for another 4 days, I'm looking forward. That's pretty much all I'm looking forward to. Like, I have been completely disenchanted with this whole fucking idea that, well, you know, these game developers, it's a better idea for them to code a game for a console and then port the same coding over to PC. No, fuck that. At least when Nintendo releases their titles, they're original, and it's the only freaking system that has exclusives anymore. I'm dying for StarCraft U, or Star Fox, not StarCraft, Star Fox U and the new Legend of Zelda. That's going to be so good. That's what I'm waiting for.
All right, Brian.
Things I'm looking forward to.
Yeah.
I'm quite looking forward to the Grand Theft Auto 5 port. I'm disappointed how long it's taken. But overall, I don't see much on the horizon. Not as much as I would like. So I don't have much to comment on, really.
All right.
Well, you can say you're looking forward to seeing me in an Iron Man suit. That'd be pretty sweet.
I'm looking forward to seeing yourself in an Iron Man suit. I think that will be worth every second. Also, this is because I'm quite cynical, so I don't tend to look forward to things. So I'm a terrible commentator in that regard.
Blake?
Doom. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to that new Doom game coming out.
All right.
I fucking love Doom.
Yeah. I'm personally looking forward to Batman Arkham Knight and Battlefront. I really hope they don't screw up Battlefront. And movie-wise, it's well, what you see here: Star Wars and Avengers. And Jurassic World looks kind of interesting. Yeah, and last but not least, your favorite movie, TV show, and game this year, Tado?
I would say my favorite game of the year is Far Cry 4. It's very much a controversial taste because controversial choice. I mean, because it's not very well received, but I really like it. I sunk like 20 hours into the game. I did a lot of stuff in the game, and I feel like it is a genuine game where you can literally try to do anything and everything, and I feel rewarding for it. The storyline is a bit shit, but I have more fun trying to find Garrison, wipe out Garrison and Fortress, uh, and that sort of stuff. For TV, I don't know. I haven't watched TV for a while. Comic books, yeah, probably the same thing. And as for movie, well, I'm looking forward to see The Hobbit, but outside of that, I would only see I will see Far Cry 4 as my choice of the year, I guess.
All right, Tadashi?
I think my favorite movie of the year was Guardians of the Galaxy. And favorite game, South Park: The Stick of Truth. I'm not sure about TV. Probably the Hannibal series. That was pretty good.
Dustin?
Favorite movie definitely was Guardians of the Galaxy for me as well. I love that movie. Favorite game, I'm gonna have to say Fantasy Life. Love that game.
You've probably earned yourself some ad money there.
I know, it's such a good game. I got like close to, I think, 400 hours on it now. Favorite TV show? I'm just gonna drop into anime on that one. My favorite show, I guess, would be Ippo Makunouchi. I love that show. If you want a fun show about boxing, you need to watch it.
All right. Mornblade.
Yup. The big looking forward to, did you say? 'Cause I've
No,
done that one.
favorite TV, movie, and game of the year.
I'm looking forward to going to see the new Hobbit. So
No.
I'll be going to see that soon.
But what you have played and stuff like that?
I don't know. Just I've already said, haven't I? What I've played this year roughly. I can't remember. Shadows of Mordor, played that.
Okay.
We did. We went through this, didn't we?
No, we went through favorite game and stuff, but he's just asking.
The games we played recently. So it's Shadow of Mordor your favorite game?
Nope. It was okay. I don't really have a favourite. Really, I've not. That's the latest one that I've actually played through. Shadows of Mordor. The rest of them I haven't really played through, so I don't know. I've not really got a favourite. It must actually. I have to say the Planetary Annihilation was the game I was talking about earlier. I've got the name now. That's quite good. So there's that. That's pretty good. I enjoyed that because it's going back to the old strategy type Total Annihilation. It's just an updated Total Annihilation, and that's awesome because that game was awesome. So I would say that's probably one of my favourites of this year. Maybe not my totally best one, but definitely up there in the top 5 or so. Aye, that's about it, because I've not really had most of the games that I've played, I haven't really played through.
Okay. How about movies or TV?
TV.
What is that, right?
It's like, I don't have favourite things really, because I just go, aye, it's fine, I enjoyed it, but it's not really great, because that's just, I don't know, I'm just like that now. I'm so fucking jaded, man. I'm just like, meh, it was okay.
If you don't have a wife, she's gonna, your future wife or your current wife must hate you.
No, probably not. That's probably why I've not got one. Yeah. So, but I'm fine with it, man. I'm just like, meh. And, yeah, but that's just, I'm just like, meh. I'm so jaded, man. I'm telling you, I'm so jaded. Look forward to not much, and just about hate everything that I do look forward to. So I stopped looking forward to stuff, if that makes sense. Yep. I'm just an old jaded man.
Alright. Liquid?
Are we talking about things we like this year?
Yeah.
This is a toughie. It really hasn't been too much. I've been pretty damn cynical this year.
Movies, TV, games, anything that stood out?
The animes this year have been very good. That's about the only thing that I look forward to in the week. It's not what games are coming out. It's what new anime series are coming up. Like Legend of Korra was very good. Even the last season where they ended it with.
Don't say it, I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, it's so so M. Night Shyamalan. It's retarded, but it's good. Like the twist is real.
No, like I got up to the second season and I waited for the fourth one, and I'm gonna splurge on the third and fourth seasons.
The fourth is so good. Like Kuvira is such a good bad guy. Let's see, the new Psychopath series that's out. If anybody hasn't watched that.
Yeah, everyone's recommending that one to me. I got that one on my list.
Yeah, that one's very good. The ending is downplayed. It gets downplayed a lot. Like it's gonna lead into a movie of some sort or a third season. There's no way it can't.
Look at my damn balls. Jesus Christ, Dax, go in your bed. Go.
That's about it. That's the only thing that I look forward to during the week is what new animes are coming on. Like, you know, all the game titles have been pretty meh. Like, I've been playing games for so long. You know, the quality's gone down. It's so noticeable. You know, the movies are the same way. Like, the foreigners are the only motherfuckers who know how to make good shit anymore.
Hey, just let you know, that war movie, God, what was that called? Fury? Fury, yeah, that was a really good movie. You should watch
good.
that.
I had that downloaded already.
Yeah, watch that. That'll leave you speechless.
Completely legitimately, not through, you know, nefarious means.
No, I know. It doesn't matter. Do what the fuck you want.
I don't think anybody gives a shit.
But yeah, that was a very intense movie. I think besides if Guardians didn't come out this year, I would have put that as my favorite.
I'll have to watch it then. I have it. Like I said, I just haven't watched any movies really. It's just been that dismal for me.
All right, Brian.
Yeah, Game of the Year, yeah.
Yeah, or movie and TV. Just favorite stuff of the year.
Well, I'm not going to say, so favorite stuff on video, you say?
Yeah, just favorite stuff, TV, movie, games.
Yeah. Well, the two favorite things I have this year, and I guess it's also my Game of the Year if we're going to talk about that next. First thing, I mentioned it briefly, was, well, I travel around with my laptop, so I don't really get to ingest a constant amount of TV and movies, but I do have my games with me. Wasteland 2 has greatly pleased me. I would recommend that to people. And the best AAA release this year, in my view, is Alien Isolation.
Okay.
I think it really did something different, and it's bloody challenging, and it's bloody well done, and I even find it very, very difficult. So I would don my hat to the developers there.
Okay.
But yeah,
so-
they've been the two highlights for me, broadly.
Okay. Blake?
I would say this is what, the game of the year thing?
Yeah, just favorite stuff of the year.
Well, my favorite thing had to be Wolfenstein: The New Order. I went in fully expecting it to be pretty shitty, and it blew my balls off. It was so good. But Alien Isolation ranks up there too. It was very, very good, and the attention to the detail was phenomenal. But it did feel like a lot like an Amnesia ripoff. To me, but it was still very good. So those are my two favorite things that came. The two favorite games from this year. Movie-wise, I don't know if y'all have ever seen it, but it's called What We Do in the Shadows, and it's absolutely fucking hilarious. It's four vampires trying to live in today's era in a flatbed, and it's just hysterical. Me and my brother almost died laughing. It was so funny, and it was from New Zealand too. So whoever said about foreigners only know how to make good shit, you're right.
Okay. Nothing else?
No, nothing else really. That's all it is.
Alright. Best TV show I still think is Arrow, in my opinion. Mid-season finale was awesome. Movie of the year. Don't know. There are three movies that stand out in my mind. Battle of the Five Armies, The Hobbit, X-Men: Days of Future Past, and Guardians of the Galaxy. Even though Godzilla really surprised me as well. Game of the year, it was Wolf Among Us for the longest time because I just liked the story a lot, but I have to say Dragon Age now. I liked it a lot. Put in like 150 hours or something. So yeah. Is there anything you guys want to add?
I also did like the Godzilla.
Yeah,
It certainly wasn't Godzilla 98.
No, yeah, definitely not.
What movie are you talking about? You have to be talking about something that actually existed here.
Oh god, that movie. Just like the Mario Brothers movies, just it never happened. Leave it alone. Oh god, Dragon Ball Evolution 2. Oh god, it killed my childhood in like an hour.
Yeah. Dear Lord.
Oh, that
yeah.
was another good one. Battle of the Gods. That was a great movie. I love that movie.
Oh god, yes.
What? Which movie was that?
Dragon Ball Battle of the Gods.
Oh yeah, that was awesome. I remember that guy saying, "Hey, I just fought with 70% of my full power."
The next one, I'm very curious of how they're going to do it because apparently Frieza's coming back. He's going to be the main villain.
Yeah.
He is coming back. That's been confirmed.
Yeah, but God mode fucking Goku versus Frieza. I mean, he must be coming back with like Devil mode or something.
Well, it's rumored that he has a new form.
Yeah.
I have yet to see that.
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Which one? The trailer or Battle of the Gods?
Oh, the gods.
No, I would recommend it. I thought scene where with Vegeta goes wild is just hilarious.
You hit my Bulma! Well, it's funny because I thought the dub version was actually better. That's
Yeah,
the first
I saw the dub version. I can't stand the Japanese version of Dragon Ball, so I always watch English. I can stand other animes on Japanese, so I just can't stand Dragon Ball.
No, I mean, it's the opposite for me. Like, I mean, typically, you know, I can't stand the English version of a anime, but Japanese version, I love it. But Dragon Ball is one of those, like, special gems. It's just, you know, they have the 90s attitude.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, that's the only one I watch in dubbed in English. So
Full Metal Alchemist gets away with it, too.
yeah, I only watch it in Japanese. So
The dub version, I would say, is as good as Dragon Ball Z, to be honest.
okay.
Those are the only two I can imagine, though, right now.
Okay. Is there anything you would like to say before we close this off? It's not gonna be a long stream, so.
Covered Dragon Ball Z. Hopefully, Blade and Soul is coming out first quarter of next year. It's actually it was actually put on GeForce on their listed games. They have Blade and Soul on there now.
Yeah, you pretty much shelled for that one. The first stream I remember.
Oh God, I love it. The game is so good, but I can't fucking play it. Fucking terrible.
Yeah. So unless there are any topics you guys wanna add up, I'm gonna try and close this stream down.
Alright, well, I'm good. I'm gonna go make dinner. I will see you guys later.
Yeah, well, before you guys go, wish you all have a Merry Christmas. I doubt we're gonna talk before that, so.
Yeah. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I don't know what the non-offensive way to say that is. Happy Holidays, I guess.
Yeah, Happy Holidays. I don't know.
Stop bitching
about Hanukkah or Kwanzaa.
Happy Hanukkah, Christmas, and whatever. Kwanzaa, yeah.
Happy no finals / no school / no responsibilities pretty much for the next 2 weeks. How about that?
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds good. Yep, happy Christmas and New Year's and stuff, and whatever the other stuff is that you're meant to be saying. Just, yeah, that.
Alright, I'm gonna close this down and see you later.